It's a cruel irony that the busiest month of the year also features books that make my TBR overflowing. There's no way that I can get to this pile of possibilities, but if you'd like to, I'd love for you to help me out. Hi, my name's B. Welcome to my channel. Mama needs to read romance and figure this out. There are a few books that I know I need to get to in the month of December, but after that, I have nothing but a pile of possibilities, and I cannot wait to share them with you. If you'd like, you can help me decide what I'm gonna wind up doing. But regardless, I hope you get some good ideas for things that you can enjoy this holiday season as well. Let's get into it. Our 18-month Wallflowers read-along comes to a close this month with Devil in Disguise. This is book 7 of the Ravenel series, and I cannot wait to read it and talk about it with my Wallflowers. Tiffany of Tiff Talks Pages, Ava of Ava's Romance Books, Rachel of Rachel Reads and Sings, and Christy of Christy Reads a Lot. I'm really gonna miss hanging out with them, and I'm excited to read and hopefully enjoy this more than I did last time. Another reread. This one I'm actually super excited about. This is Holiday by Gaslight by Mimi Matthews. It is a standalone Christmas novella. It is one of those touchstones, like, you must read this sweet, clean, incredibly intense, atmospheric story written by the great Mimi Matthews. Teen Biscuits Book Club is going to be reading this in the month of December, and I couldn't be more excited that this is what they chose. Speaking of historical romance that I'm really excited about, Abby, Jean, and I are going to be buddy reading Some Winter's Evening by Erin Langston. This is the only Langston I haven't read yet out of the 4. I've been wanting to read this for years, so I'm super excited to read one of my favorite historical romance authors. I asked my channel members to choose one contemporary and one historical romance for me to focus on in the month of December, and they chose Wreck My Plans by Jillian Meadows. Now, I have not read her yet, but the book Give Me Butterflies, anyone I know who's read it has absolutely adored it, and so I'm really excited to read something Christmassy by her, and definitely I want to get into Give Me Butterflies at some point. My channel members also chose an historical romance Christmas anthology for me. I should have said that earlier. It's an anthology. I try to get through one anthology every year, and this year I couldn't be more excited. We've got Lisa Kleypas, Lorraine Heath, Megan Frampton, and Vivian Lorette, A Christmas to Remember. 4 standalone novellas. I believe they're standalone. We shall see. I'm going in blind. Love it. I'm just excited about these authors. I can't wait to see what this has in store for me. Now we get into the pile of possibilities. This is where you can help me figure out what in the world I need to prioritize or read. You can do one of 3 things. You can either just enjoy this and you don't have to do anything in the comments, or you can do an emoji of your choice and pick your favorite of what I'm about to share with you. Or the third thing you can do is, if you're really into this, you can prioritize these for me and rank them. I'll be letting you guys know in posts what won later, by the way. So be looking for that in my community page and on your feed. Last year, I did not have the pleasure of enjoying the Amazon original stories Under the Mistletoe, which is 5 shorts by 5 powerhouse contemporary romance authors. This is where you come in, because I have a feeling many of you got to do this, and so you can give me some advice. Or if you are really excited about me telling you more about these in my wrap-up later. So we have Allie Hazelwood's Cruel Winter with You. 2 former childhood friends, a blustery winter storm stirs some frosty and scorching memories in a delightfully sexy short story. If you want that one, be sure to give me a blue heart emoji. We also have Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey, a single mother working in a thrift store, a gentle giant farmer who can't find jeans that fit. When opposites attract, they find themselves making alterations in more ways than one in this smoking hot short story. If you want me to do that one, give me a pink heart in the comments. For those of you that want to help me prioritize what order to do these into, you can tell me blue heart first and then pink heart, or the other way around. I'm curious to see what you do. We also have All by My Elf by Olivia Dade. Secret crushes, spicy Christmas treats, heinous holiday traffic, and a fateful snowstorm bring good friends together in a funny, sexy short story. If you want this one, give me that green heart or add that to your list of priorities. We also have Merriment and Mayhem by Alexandria Bellafleur, who I have not read yet. This Christmas, a hot fireman woman makes a holiday rescue and sparks fly in this sizzling holiday short story. If you want that one, pop a yellow heart in my comments. Lastly, we have Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. This is an author I've been dying to read. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, especially for a comic book illustrator whose late-night naughty fantasies become real in a festive and spicy short story. We have not done a red heart yet. Perfect! So add that red heart if that's the one you want, or put it in the order of importance of these 5 for you. Let's talk about something I don't often read, but lately I've been driven towards it, cozy mysteries. I really enjoyed the short Christmas Corpse by K.T. Forrest, writing as Mona Marple. It was such a fun little afternoon I spent listening to this. They're short, they're fun, they're festive, and 3 more are coming out in audio in the month of December. Now, the one that came out in August, The Christmas Corpse, that one is already on Hoopla. So I'm hoping that more of these end up on Hoopla, but I don't know how long that takes. As I said, this one came out in August, but 3 more of the 9 are coming out this month. So I was hoping you could help me prioritize which one to do first, or if you have a favorite, let me know, and I'll tell you what emojis you can use as we go through these. By the way, even though they're not all out in audio yet, you can enjoy all 9 of these on Kindle Unlimited. Okay, we'll start with book 2. This is Sleigh Bells Ring. Notice the way they've spelled sleigh. It's New Year's Eve in Candy Cane Hollow. This winter wonderland may look festive and be home to the Claus family, but all is not as it seems. The festivities take a turn for the bizarre when the giant glitter ball comes crashing down on cantankerous elf Greasy. Chief Superintendent Wiggles is sure the death is just a tragic accident, but Holly isn't so sure. Greasy was lots of things, but it appears that popular wasn't one of them. Holly begins her own investigation with the eager help of Mrs. Claus, while dimpled Nick Claus warns them both to be careful. Was the death an accident or a false hope? Yes, that is cheesy and fun. By the way, Nick is Mrs. Claus's son, and it's super cute. If you want this one, you can leave me a disco ball in the comments. You can also leave that comment open because you may want to put these in order for me as we go through the other 2 of the series. We also have book 3, A Lost Claus. As Christmas approaches in Candy Cane Hollow, it's time for the annual Claus family ice fishing trip. Holly Wood, yes, that's her real name, is a ball of nerves about meeting all of Nick Claus's relatives until the trip ends in disaster. One Claus doesn't return home, and as everyone begins to fear the worst, an old grudge between the lost Claus and Nick makes his actions look suspicious. Can Holly get to the truth before anyone else is hurt? If you want this one, put a fish in the comments, or you can prioritize it how you want to with the disco ball and that fish. Who knew you were going to be doing this today, right? And last but not least, we have Mistletoe Murder. This is book 4 of 9, the last one coming out in the month of December. When a local millionaire eccentric dies, the whole of Candy Cane Hollow are crying into their mince pies. But when the will is read, it turns out that the whole estate has been left not to the man's family, but to an elf who claims she didn't know him at all. With that shock discovery, it's time to see how money really does change people, and not everyone will survive the fallout. Holly finds herself caught up in another murder, but she already has enough on her plate. Her sister is visiting her new festive home for the first time, and together they will sort out the final plans for the winter ball. Oh, and is she imagining things? Or is her dimpled dish of a boyfriend acting suspiciously? Looks like fun. We noticed that they were crying into their mince pies at the beginning, so be sure to leave me a comment of a pie if you want this one, or pop it in with the other 2 to let me know which one you think I should prioritize first, because I might get to more than one of these. Okay, here comes one of the most critical and most challenging things that I need your help with. And again, if you don't want to help me, don't. Just watch and hopefully get inspired to find some books to read. I only have so much time, and some of these that I really want to read, I can only read physically. There's no audio component. So this is where I would love if you decide to help me prioritize, because I'm going to read as many as I can. You can also just give your emoji for the favorite that I'm going to list for you. But these are ones that I really want to get to that I can only read physically. Novels, not novellas. We'll get to those as well. We've got Anne Gracie, The Christmas Bride. I have had the pleasure of reading all 4 of the other books in the Chance Sisters series. I've loved it. I just finished The Summer Bride in November, which was weird. To read a summer book, but I wanted to finish the entire series before I got to the Christmas book. If you think I should finish The Christmas Bride, put a bride in the comments. You can also leave that comment going if you want to help me prioritize the order to do these in. I've been obsessed with Elle Douglas since I read Autumn Nights, Holiday Lights. I've really been wanting to read more of her. She has a 5-book series called The McCarthy Sisters, and it actually begins with a Christmas novel that does not have an audiobook to it. I already own this on my Kindle, although of course I want to buy the physical copy because I really like this author a lot. This is Wish Upon a Christmas Star, which would help me kick off a whole new contemporary series, which I believe is either Sweet Clean or Fade to Black. It's just really charming, such endearing characters, great writing. It's like a really good Hallmark movie in book form. And right now, that is what I'm into. To vote for this one, leave me a star emoji. So many of us just adore Tori Jean and her book, Finding Gene Kelly. Because I was so impressed by that, I wound up buying the holiday novella. It's 170 pages. So it's hard to kind of pin down exactly where that is. For me, it's more long, especially if I have to physically read it. Love at Frost Sight, which is looks like a grumpy sunshine, fake dating, friends to lovers kind of deal. I bought this more than a year ago. I was going to read it last year. I didn't get around to it. I'm hoping to get around to it this year. If you like Tori Jean or you like those tropes, do leave me a snowflake in the comments if I need to read this one first, if it's your favorite, or start listing those, those 3 in order to help me prioritize what order to get to these in. I also own Serena Bowen's Holidating. Now, this is a collection of 3 short stories. I guess I could just pick one to read because this is over 400 pages long. I have really enjoyed what I've read by Serena Bowen so far, and I've been wanting to dive further into her backlist. So if you're excited about Serena Bowen, do leave me a book like she's holding in the comments. Well, I got this the other day in my Harlequin box that I accidentally signed up for again, but I'm not sad about it because some of my favorite books have been Harlequin this year. I used to think that they weren't as good. I think they are. You just have to find the ones that are amazing. I'm so impressed. But anyway, I'm excited about this one. Snowed in with the new Earl. After a disastrous season, Alice has given up on marriage for herself, but not for her friends. This Christmas, she'll matchmake her friend with a neighboring Earl. Only when Alice calls upon him, she finds James a changed man, scarred, brooding, grumpy, and now she's snowed in with him. James Marlowe, the new Earl of Thornwood, has returned to take possession of his neglected Lake District estate and heal his broken heart. He has no need of Alice's irritating Christmas cheer, but when an awkward mistletoe kiss turns passionate, the ice begins to melt around his frost-bitten soul. Snowed in together, holiday setting, and we have essentially like a Beauty and the Beast type retelling. I mean, sign me up. This is part of a Wayward Wallflower story, so I'm excited. This guy's cold, so if you want this one, give me a snowman emoji in the comments. This is Anna Harrington's How the Duke Saved Christmas. I've read 2 books in the Capturing the Carlisle series. The first one hit it way out of the park to the point where I was like, I need to read all of these. And I ordered this Christmas prequel. I would say novella. It's not a novella because it's over. I mean, I don't think so. It's over 220 pages. So I am excited to read more from Anna Harrington. I really do want to read more of the Capturing the Carlisles series. I did find out that the Capturing the Carlisle series is a spin-off of another series, so I still probably have to go back even further, but this is the prequel novella. It says, Merry Christmas. 2 years ago, Lady Clara Marshall led a fairy tale life. She was the toast of the ton, beloved sister to an earl, leading charity patroness, and deeply in love. A bright future lay in her grasp until a tragic fate and accident ripped it all away. Now she's lost the use of her right leg and never ventures from home. She's lost all happiness and the love of her life. When she's forced to travel north for the holidays, a fierce snowstorm, a damaged bridge, and her meddling brother all conspire against her to bring her under the same roof with the one man she never wanted to see again. Michael Stanton, Duke of Wakefield, cannot believe his eyes when he sees Clara being carried into his country house to seek shelter from the storm. him. 2 years ago, his heart nearly stopped when he watched the wreck, only for it to shatter completely when she broke off with him without explanation. Certain she blames him for her leg, he's resigned to having lost her until her brother asks for his help in showing her how to live again. But the last thing Clara wants is to be trapped with Michael and all the ghosts of Christmases past. Will the Duke be able to save not just Christmas, but also her life? This looks epic. If you want this one, do leave me a life preserver for saving Christmas in the comments. Okay, now let's talk about the novellas that I can only read and I cannot listen to. And I need you to help me prioritize these, or at least tell me your favorite to help me know what to read first. And then I'll just hope to get to the rest of these. I actually got this one in a little free library a couple of years ago, and I've been wanting to read it ever since. This is Deneen Miller, who I have not yet read, and I've been wanting to. It's a small town sweet romantic comedy. It says she makes sure nothing can go wrong until he decks the halls with chaos, unusual menus, and romance. This is about a woman who has a B&B in South Florida along the coast. She's trying to make it Christmassy. When Dominic comes in, a new chef she's not used to working with, who has all these interesting ideas, and initially it seems like they're going to butt heads, but he actually shows her how to have fun during the holiday season. It looks really cute. If you think you're gonna like this one best, give me a palm tree emoji in the comments, or you can start your list of how to prioritize these with a palm tree in that comment. I had the pleasure of reading Carla Kelly's book in Snowbound Regency Christmas. This again, I'm telling you, I don't know that I would be like, I have to read this by looking at this. I mean, I do love the cover. I mean, but the title is like lacking, which I think is part of my problem with Harlequin sometimes. It's like, come on, you can do better. I don't mean to knock the Harlequin. Seriously. I really do enjoy these. In fact, I gave Carla Kelly's story in this book, which is called a Christmas House Guest, I gave it 6 stars. It's one of my favorite reads, and it was one of my top 10 reads of the autumn. So their Yuletide Reunion by Joanna Johnson looks decent, but I'm actually the most excited about Samantha Hastings' The Christmas Husband Charade, which unfortunately I can only read in print. So it's a novella though, so let me know if you think I should try this one out. In The Christmas Husband Charade by Samantha Hastings, Devin finds himself snowed in with Julia, the woman who jilted his brother. When he's forced to masquerade as her husband, their mutual hatred evolves into an irresistible connection. Sounds so much fun. If you think I need to read that one, put a husband, which is basically a guy in a tux, in the comments. I cannot believe it's been 2 years since I read the Lake Mistletoe series. It was really interesting. Penelope Gerhardt did 4 books in the first season, running like a show almost. And now, while they were a little too spicy and raunchy for me initially, I was sort of intrigued by them. And so I read the first one, which was my least favorite. But as I got into the series further, I liked them more and more. And last year, she released the next 3, which I have not had time to read. So I was hoping that you could help me decide whether or not to do this with book 5, who has a character that I really enjoyed and wanted to know what was going to happen to him. This is The Winter Bake Off, which is of course book 5 of the Lake Mistletoe series. When the popular show Ready, Set, Bake descends on Lake Mistletoe and his boss enters him in a contest, local baker Anthony isn't sure how to feel. Although he's eager to match mixers for a shot at being named Best Winter Baker, it means a reunion with old flame Aaron, who's not only the one that got away, but also the host of the show. Will the magic of Lake Mistletoe and the warmth of the holiday season bring 2 hearts back together in the sweetest way possible? Welcome to Lake Mistletoe, where the holiday season brings more than just snow. This cozy town may be quiet, but with the Ready, Set, Bake holiday special in full swing, romance is in the air and things are just heating up. Curl up with this second chance romance from the festive Lake Mistletoe series. Sweet Shots of Steam Stories by Penelope Gerhardt are short, cute, and spicy. Perfect for the reader who doesn't have time to skip to the good parts. If you want this one, be sure to put a cake emoji in the comments. Here's another one that came out 2 years ago that I'd been dying to read. I've read other Olivia Fleur and was knocked off my socks, or had my socks knocked off. Yeah, that sounds more accurate. Anyway, this is A Song and a Snowflake, a Tales from Honeysuckle Street prequel novella, which is fantastic if you want to try her out. A woman seeking redemption at the end of a church aisle. Beautiful songbird Charlize Hartright is ruined. Introverted, shy, and grieving her mother's loss, she would do anything to restore the family name, even commit to a loveless match if it means her beloved sister Elise will have a chance at finding her own happiness. Sinclair McIntyre has traveled halfway across the world to create his own destiny. Tired of being in the shadow of his older brothers, he's determined to do things his own way, to become an independent, self-made man. A woman seeking redemption at the end of a church aisle, a man out to make his own name, a future laid out before each of them. But with a song and a snowflake, everything will change. Since we've already done a snowflake emoji, let's do a music note emoji if this is the one you want. I've had this on my Kindle forever as well. Melanie Harlow, who I have enjoyed, and Corinne Michaels, who I've wanted to read, wrote this one together. Baby, it's cold outside. It says, Christmas in Chicago has never been so warm. My Christmas list did not include a broken heart, freezing temperatures, or my tree stuck in the door to my apartment complex, but that's what I got. Just when I thought Santa had failed me, I got something I never thought to ask for, him. This is a fun Christmas novella that was originally available in the Christmas in the City anthology. If you're liking the sound of this one, do leave me a Christmas tree. I found this by accident, and I'm so glad I did. I was actually looking for another book with the same title when I found this one. Even if I don't read this year, I'm going to read this at some point. It looks so good. Shy Louisa Harcourt longs for one truly happy Christmas, ideally involving lazy evenings curled before a fire with a good book or her own poetry. Instead, she's whisked to a house party as bait for sharks. To secure her uncertain future, an eligible suitor must propose before 12th night. The clock is ticking. Charming, complicated, utterly non-eligible Ewan Reed crashes the Duke's holiday party, concealing an ulterior motive that must not involve falling for Louisa. Armed with nothing more than a plume and an irresistibly brooding glare, Ewan hides a dark secret that could spoil his one chance for true love. Color me intrigued. If you think I need to go with this one, leave me a pen emoji in the comments, or you can put that as part of your order of things. Did you know I was going to bring up alien romance today? Well, I am. This is one that's been on my back burner of my TBR for the holidays for 3 years. This came out in 2022. It's part of Stranded with an Alien, a 7-book series by different well-known alien romance authors. This is Cinta by Honey Phillips, which is of course the name of the alien, by the way, is Cinta. Cinta is coming to town, but this time he's the one receiving a gift. An unexpected inheritance comes at the perfect time for Holly. Her on-again, off-again relationship is off for good. Her Christmas plans have been canceled, and her parents have decided to spend the holiday traveling. But the remote mountain cabin she inherited is not the idyllic paradise she remembers from her childhood. There is no power, no cell service, and she's quite sure someone or something is watching her from the woods. Cinta's observation trip to this primitive planet has gone disastrously wrong. His ship's systems have gone haywire, the freezing temperatures have thrown his body into his beast-like survival mode, and he's lost touch with his world. Then the enchanting human female he spies from the woods threatens to throw his beast into a frenzy. When Cinta and Holly are forced to work together to survive, they discover an unexpected connection. But is there any future for them once the holidays are over? We'll have to read to find out. And if you want me to find out, add an alien emoji to the comments. And last but hopefully not least, on my list of novellas that I would have to physically read in order to enjoy this season is The Duke Under the Mistletoe, a steamy Christmas novella by Scarlett Scott. Lillian, New York City socialite, wealthy heiress, and duchess against her will. She didn't want to get married, not yet, and certainly not to a cold, haughty aristocrat, but her mother had other plans. Now she's a duchess about to spend Christmas alone at her husband's crumbling country estate. There's just one problem. He's unexpectedly decided to join her. Alaric, impoverished duke, London's most eligible bachelor, and husband against his will. He may descend from one of the noblest families in England, but he's swimming in a century's worth of debt. His only hope was to secure a wealthy wife, but his duty isn't over because he needs an heir, and there's only one way to get one. Oh boy. If you're most excited about this one, leave me a baby emoji, because of the heir. I don't know. I'm trying different things, okay? I've saved the maybe easiest for me to get to for last. These are books that I own either on my Kindle, or I can read them on Kindle Unlimited, or I own physical copies, and I have access to the audio, so I can do both. I can double dip, whatever's working easiest for me. So I need you to help me prioritize in what order to try to get through these, or you just leave me an emoji of your favorite. I know I keep repeating myself over and over again, but maybe it bears repeating. My sister was so sweet and bought me 2 books the other day, and here is one of them. This is Hannah Grace's Holiday Ever After. It says Clara Davenport wants to solve Fraser Falls' biggest problem. According to Jack Kelly, Clara is Fraser Falls' biggest problem. All Clara Davenport ever wanted to do was climb the ladder at Davenport Innovation Creative, her family's toy business. Everything was going according to plan until the company was accused of stealing a doll design from an independent toy maker, creating a flurry of bad publicity. With a promotion dangled in front of her like a carrot to a reindeer, Clara is tasked with charming the locals of the small town to solve the PR nightmare by any means necessary. Jack Kelly would be happy to never hear the name Davenport again. Less than a year after a guy in a fancy suit appeared on his doorstep with a sleigh full of promises, the company that once falsely claimed they wanted to sign him to their small business program has copied his design. So when Clara prances into town hoping to convince Fraser Falls that her company is not the enemy, Jack is determined not to be fooled by Davenport twice. But Clara has a plan to win over the community, only to realize that beneath Jack's frosty demeanor lies the keys to the town's heart, and maybe her own. If you want me to read this one, do leave me a toy emoji. My sister also bought me this gorgeous one, B.K. Borison's Good Spirits. Look at this. Oh my gosh, the spray judges. I can't even get out of here. Fall in love with the ghost of Christmas Past in this magical romance from the New York Times bestselling author of Love Light Farms and First Time Caller. He's the ghost of Christmas Past. She's not exactly Scrooge. Ghost of Christmas Past Nolan Callahan intends to spend this holiday haunting like every other. Get in, get out, return to his otherwise aimless existence as a ghost awaiting the afterlife. But when he's faced with Harriet York, the sweetest assignment he's ever had, he suddenly finds himself wishing for a future. Harriet York has no idea why she's being haunted. She's a good person, or at least she tries to be. A people pleaser to her core, she always does what's expected of her, but as she and Nolan begin to examine her past, they discover that there are threads that bind them together and realize there might be more to moving on than expected. With this deadline of Christmas Eve fast approaching, will they find the key to their futures in each other's pasts, or will they stay firmly in the present, indulging in their unexpected, spirited connection? If you want this one, do leave me a ghost in the comments. Here's one that's been on my list forever. Duke Actually by Jenny Holiday. There's a royal wedding on and things are about to get interesting. Meet the man of honor. Maximilian von Hansberg, Baron of Loudon and heir to the Duke of Aguila, is not having a Merry Christmas. He's been dumped by a princess, he's unemployed, and his domineering father has sent him to New York to meet a prospective bride he has no interest in. In the city, he meets Danny Martinez, a smart and gorgeous professor he's determined to befriend before their best friends marry at the Eldovian wedding of the century. Meet the best woman. Newly single, no-nonsense New Yorker Danny is done with love. She's even written a list entitled Things I Will Never Do Again for a Man, which is why she hits it off with the notorious rake Max. He's the perfect partner for snow angels in Central Park and deep conversations about the futility of love. It's all fun and games until their friendship deepens into attraction, but oops, falling in love was never part of the plan. If you want this one, do be sure to leave me a crown emoji. I bought this one last year. Actually, my channel members recommended I buy it from Walmart. I got it for like $8. I was really excited about it. Did I ever read it? No. And I would love to. This is a sizzling feel-good opposites attract holiday romance, now in a beautiful new package. 2 weeks before Christmas and all through Manhattan, shop windows are decorated in red and green satin. Stella is standing alone outside a famous department store when a charming man asks her opinion on the decor. It's a tragedy in tinsel, she says, unable to lie. Then he asks for a better idea with a twinkle in his eye. She didn't know he owned the place when he put her on the spot, and now she's working for that man, trying to ignore that he's hot. But as a down on her luck girl with a difficult past, Stella knows how to make a good opportunity last. So she gives it her all, working without stopping, trying to resist temptation because she's just window shopping. If you like this one, do leave me a window in the comments or help me prioritize it. Believe it or not, I have another one like this set more than 100 years before that I've been wanting to get to. It's by Joanna Shoup, Miracle on Ladies Mile. And this is a novella, actually. actually. It says, cold and ruthless, the only thing that matters to Alexander Armstrong is money. So why is he suddenly drawn to an annoyingly cheerful and definitely not innocent young woman working in his department store? Do you like old black and white movies but wish they were sexier? Then this novella is for you, says a Goodreads reviewer. If you want this one, do be sure to leave me money in the comments. No, don't leave me actual money. I mean, leave me a money emoji. I try to read a Mary Jo Putney Christmas novella every holiday season, and this one looked really neat to me and very different. It's called Sunshine for Christmas. Searching for sunshine and finding a second chance at love. Lonely and depressed by far too much rain, Lord Randolph Lennox decides on impulse to take the first ship leaving London for the sunny Mediterranean. Chance brings him to Naples, where it's also raining, but the rain clears, and as he discovers the city, a pleasant young English governess rescues him from an altercation with a flirtatious girl and her protective family. Miss Elizabeth Walker is between jobs and taking a holiday in Naples when she meets the quiet, handsome Englishman. When he proposes that she act as his guide for the next few days, she accepts because they enjoy each other's company. Elizabeth matter-of-factly recognizes that of course she'll fall quietly in love with him and nothing will come of it, but she'll have some lovely memories to cherish in her old age. As they come to know each other better, Randolph starts thinking thoughts of forever, but that seems impossible until fate takes an alarming hand. Looks fun. If you want this one, do leave me a sun in the comments. I wanted to recommend this one so badly to my Tea and Biscuits book club for the month of December, but it's not a novella, and that's what we were focusing on. But I still have a chance to read and or listen, which is of course reading also, with The Magic of Gingerbread by Sandra Suku, which is part of Unforgettable Victorian Ladies standalone romances. Sometimes the only way to gauge the depth of a man's regard is with the magic of gingerbread. In 1888 London, Mrs. Eleanor Redding, possessed of a beastly, grouchy attitude, works for Western Union Telegraph Company. It gives her a certain independence and a place to hide from her disappointing past in America when she accidentally intercepts a Morse-coded message alluding to clandestine and nefarious activity. She accepts the challenge with alacrity. It will take her mind off the fact that she's once more alone for the Christmas holiday. Why couldn't a man look past her prickles and scars to fight for her? Mr. Cameron Hallowell, grandson of the Earl of Albemarle, is employed by the Home Office in the matters of foreign interests. He takes his occupation of protecting British interests seriously, but he longs for a woman to surprise him in unexpected ways, to want him instead of his social standing. When there's news of a foreign operative lurking about Victoria Station, planning something vile, he intends to track them down, only to find an attractive woman tailing various strangers on the platform and looking for all the world like a spy herself. They get on together like oil and water, but despite Eleanor's prickles and Cameron's bruised heart, as well as his secrets, a spark catches between them. As the unlikely pair work together to capture a spy and prevent harm from befalling London, they come to care for and rely on each other. Throw an intriguing prospect of an unexpected Christmas courtship, and they could have a romance that spans the ages, if they'll only let themselves give in to granted wishes and a passion that's been there all along. It looks so good. If you want this one, do be sure to leave me a cookie emoji for gingerbread cookies. We had a members only live show last night, and our friend Sock said that she bought Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal by Megan Quinn at Marshall's for like $8 or something like that. I was intrigued. I love the title. Of course, I love Home Alone. And today, when I wanted to order something from Amazon, and I was so close to something that would arrive today, and I saw this was an option to make these things happen, I picked this book. This is arriving this afternoon, physically, so I don't have it yet, but it's on its way. And this is one you could help me choose. Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. Nothing says I love you like trespassing, public humiliation, and a town-wide Christmas spectacle to win your crush back. Atlas, Maxheimer, did not sign up for this. One minute he's anxiously trying to keep his family's Christmas tree farm from imploding. The next, he's passed out in the snow after getting clocked by a suspiciously strong bottle of soda. Enter Betty, new in town, full of holiday cheer, and helping her uncle open a rival tree farm next door. Max is convinced she's out to destroy everything Evergreen Farm stands for. Betty thinks Max might be one sleigh short of a winter parade. But cue the holiday chaos. Between blizzards, blown reputations, wildly misguided romantic plots, and one stolen ornament with a seriously tragic backstory, this small town war turns into something far messier and much more delicious than either of them expected. If you want this one, one, you can leave me a sleigh emoji. Now, I have not had a chance to read the first book in the Clan Kendrick series by Vanessa Kelly. This is book 2. I'm trying, as I'm filming this, it's getting towards the end of November. I'm hoping to finish the first book in the series. If I do, I want to jump right into this one in the month of December. I've heard nothing but amazing things about the Clan Kendrick series and Vanessa Kelly, so I'm very excited. There's actually 2 Christmas novels in the series, which is I think like 7 books, which is kind of funny. It says, in best-selling author Vanessa Kelly's irresistible Clan Kendrick series, Christmas in the Highlands means family, celebration, and for one brother, the beginning of a passionate adventure. Being thrown over by the man she expected to marry was humiliating enough. Now that Donella Haddon, grandniece of the Earl of Riddick, has also proven a failure as a nun, she has no choice but to return to her family's estate. The brawny Highlander sent to escort her is brash, handsome, and the only thing standing between Donella and a gang of would-be kidnappers. But the scandal in her past can't be so easily outrun. Wealthy widower Logan Kendrick was expecting to meet a plain, pious spinster, not a gorgeous, sharp-tongued lass who can hold her own in any ambush. Though she's known as the flower of Clan Graham, Donella is no shrinking violet. In fact, she might be the perfect woman to bring happiness back to his lonely little son's life, just in time for Christmas. But first, he must protect her from the ugly gossip and a mysterious threat, and convince her that their wild, unexpected desire is heaven sent. If you like this one, you want me to read it, leave me a fire emoji in the comments, or you can, of course, help me prioritize it by putting it in your list. Here's one that we were looking at for tea and biscuits in the month of December, and it looks so fun. I think I need to try this out. It's Snowflakes and Wallflowers by Lauren Smith. This is book 2 of 11 of the Christmas Wallflowers, which was a series written by various fabulous, independent, mostly historical romance authors. This one looked to be one of the most intriguing. I'm very excited to potentially try it. Matilda starts a war with a brooding Lord Castleton when she throws a snowball at his head. Becoming the Earl of Castleton wasn't something Arthur Brynwood wanted, but after he learned of his great-uncle's passing, the responsibility of running such a vast estate was thrust on Arthur's shoulders. When he arrives at the estate and sees the mismanagement of the properties, he loses his temper and raises the rent on the tenants of a small cottage on his land. Feisty Matilda Matthews comes to him the next day, pleading for leniency for herself and her ailing aunt who lived in the cottage for free. Too used to the wiles of women, Arthur remains unmoved by her words and won't reconsider. The next thing he knows, he's choking on a snowball thrown at his face, and Matilda is marching away, back straight and head held proudly high. Once again, his temper explodes. He grabs her and wrestles the shrieking, kicking woman to a bed chamber and locks her in until he decides what to do with her. He's intrigued and reluctantly impressed by Matilda's show of spirit. She's not the usual simpering, coy type of women who all but worship at his feet in London, and her beauty. He feels an unexpected lust when he imagines her long russet hair and the gaze that begs for him to kiss her. Deciding it's been too long since he's had a mistress, he knows exactly how to solve the problem of Matilda. He'll allow her free use of the cottage she lives in for the rest of her life in exchange for being his mistress this Christmas season. I can't wait to see what she makes of that. If you want this one, be sure to leave me a house emoji for that cottage. Well, that was it. I know, that's it? Surely I'll get to all of these. Not at all. But with your help, I'll know how to prioritize them. If you've read any of these or have thoughts, do leave them in the comments. I'd say you could leave me such and such emoji, but I think I've already done that too much to you today. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're reading, whether it's a holiday book or not. Until next time, thanks so much. Take care. Bye.
We're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, dance, dance. Come on. Dance. We're gonna dance, dance. Have a good time. Dance, dance. All night long. We're gonna dance, dance. And have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling.